stop paying your debts, your bills, your expenses, and taxes as soon as you get paid. Paying all your debts, bills, expenses, and taxes as soon as you get paid is exactly the reason why you don't have any money left to invest in assets, or if you like, for emergencies. This is exactly what I call financial suicide. There is a better way, a smart way. Do you want to know? Then make sure you watch this video until the end. Welcome to Success Booster Academy. If you are looking to make more money, manage it like a multi-millionaire, and multiply it fast so you can become financial free, then make sure you subscribe to this channel by clicking the button below and then ring the notification bell so you can be notified when we launch amazing videos like this. I was fed up with this. I didn't want to be broke anymore and always struggling with money. That's why I started studying millionaires, multimillionaires, and even billionaires to see how they make money, how they manage it wisely, and how they multiply it and make it grow. And one thing I learned is this: all of them have one thing in common. All these billionaires, multimillionaires, and even millionaires have one thing in common. They always pay debts, expenses, bills, and taxes last, and always pay themselves first. This was a big revelation for me. So let's uncover here this big money myth. The myth that we have to pay our expenses, our bills, and our debts, and everything as soon as we get paid, and save money last. First of all, let me ask you this question. How much money do you have in your savings? Do you at least have an emergency fund that will cover the cost of a crisis if one arises? If you don't, you are not alone. According to a survey conducted by The Balance, the majority of Americans don't have $250 to spare. The problem is that this doesn't happen only in America. It also happens in the UK and in other countries. I don't know if you know this, but when you get paid, you already pay tax on your income. In the UK, this tax is called pay as you earn. So my question to you is this: what do you do with the rest of the income after the taxmen take their share? Are you going to pay the rest of the taxes, all the bills and expenses as soon as you get paid? No, I hope you don't. This is a big mistake that most of us unconsciously make. We are programmed and taught to pay all our bills and expenses first and then save what is left. Do you know what the problem is if you follow this strategy? The problem is that after paying living expenses such as rent, mortgage, electricity, food, clothes, and other bills, and even taxes, we have literally no money left to save to invest in assets that pay us passive income. And if we can't save to invest, then we'll never be financial free or rich. That's as simple as that. So stop paying all your debts, your expenses, all your bills as soon as you get paid. Don't get me wrong, I used to do the same mistake all the time. For years, I kept paying my bills and other expenses first, and always believing that my financial situation would change. Of course, this was a financial delusion. No wonder I kept struggling to have enough money to do the things I really wanted to do. So if you are currently making the same mistake as I used to do, paying all expenses, all bills, all taxes, and then trying to save what's left, I would recommend you to follow the two strategies. The first strategy is what I call pay yourself first strategy, or if you like, PYF, which stands for pay yourself first. And the second strategy is what I call the pay debt last strategy. Now, pay debt last strategy is an acronym. D stands for debts, E stands for expenses, B stands for bills, and T stands for taxes. So how do these strategies work? As soon as you get paid, take at least 10% of your income to save to invest. Ideally, you want 20% for saving to invest. But if you can't, then I would recommend you to save 10%. But make sure you move to 20% as soon as you can. Because the faster you save to invest, the better. The better you are going to invest in assets that will produce passive income. So that's the first thing I would do. I would start taking 20% of my income every month and put it in a saving account specifically with the purpose to save to invest, and call this account Save to Invest. This money is not to be touched for necessities, okay? So after you pay yourself first, only then you're going to pay debts, expenses, bills, and tax last. That's exactly what I call the strategy, pay debt last, which means you're going to pay all your debts, all your bills, all your expenses last. That's the last thing you do. If you follow this strategy, I promise that you will start having enough income to save to invest in assets that will produce passive income. In addition, I would also recommend you to start reducing all expenses and make it a priority number one to start saving for the purpose to invest in the right assets or to save money to invest. But of course, if you're already reducing all your expenses and saving more money, why don't you try to save a bit more? Why don't you try to save to increase your income for, let's say, 10, 20, or even 25%, or even try to save 30% of your income? So if you speed up the process of saving to invest, saving with the purpose to invest in assets, I guarantee to you that you will be able to retire faster and enjoy financial freedom. I promise you that if you follow the pay yourself first strategy and pay the debt, DEBT, last strategy, you will reap the benefits while others will be reaping the consequences of not saving enough, of not paying themselves first, or for always paying themselves last. And this is a big mistake, as I said. Are you enjoying this video so far? If so, make sure you subscribe to my channel by clicking the button below and then ring notification bells, and so you can be notified when we launch videos like this. Let's do a quick recap, shall we? In this video, we learned that we should never pay expenses, bills, taxes as soon as we get paid. But what we should do is to always pay ourselves first. And that's the way to save, to invest in assets that will produce passive income, that will make you rich. Because if you always pay your debts, your expenses, your bills, and your taxes first, you will always be broke and always struggle with financial problems. But if you always pay yourself first, then you will always protect yourself, because you're saving to invest in assets that will produce passive income without the need for you exchanging your time for money. But how do you pay yourself first? That's a great question. So once you set aside the amount of money you want to save every month, what you need to do is to automate this process of saving to invest. This means that you set up, for example, a standing order or a saving account in which the money is taken automatically from your account as soon as you get paid without your intervention. And remember, never pay expenses, bills, or taxes as soon as you get paid. If you do that, you'll always be broke. You'll always struggle with financial problems like I used to be. And you will also never have money to save to invest in assets that will produce passive income. Let's say you earn £3,000 or $3,000 a month from your job. Maybe you could set aside 20% for investing. So, for example, how much is 20% of £3,000? It's £600. So this is the amount you're going to set aside and automate to invest every month. Then you can do whatever you want with the rest of your money, including paying your debts, your bills, your expenses. I do understand that paying bills is very important for everybody, but you have to prioritize your future. You have to start planning for your future. Your future cannot always take the back seat. So don't prioritize paying all your expenses, all your bills, and all your debts as soon as you get paid. Prioritize your long-term financial well-being. Prioritize saving to invest in assets that will produce passive income without you exchanging time for money.